the three of you to maybe share a few words before we actually check out the screening. Let's start with you, Pat.
Hello, good afternoon. Thanks everyone for being here. Yeah, it means a lot that everyone's here, and we're happy to share what it's been like for us for the past 10 years. And yeah, well,
Yeah, thank you to the media for being here and like being part of the first viewing of the first episode of the docu-series. I'd also like to acknowledge the offshore team and the interns who were behind the editing and the shooting of this. And I just wanted to share with the media also that the team behind offshore right now is a special one. So I'd like you guys to acknowledge them as well later. Thank you very much, Offshore.
Hello again. Also, thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. Alam namin na it's hell to, literal hell to travel in the city these days. So, again, thank you. It's been quite a trip. And coincidentally, the 10th year anniversary coincides with 10 years of that was a joke, so sorry. Just lightening the mood. Anyway, enjoy the documentary. Thank you. Part 1 lang pala. Okay. May sequel pa. May sequel. Oh, 5. Oh, wow. I didn't know that. Okay. Here's Jamie.
Thank you, Ellie. Thank you, Audrey. Thank you, Pat. Okay, guys, so 10 years is no small feat, and I'd like to share a little personal anecdote with Offshore Music that 6 years. We're doing a question and answer portion, guys. If you have any questions, we'll be entertaining them, and of course, this remarkable 10-year journey is going to be, more informed and more widely spread because of your interaction. So, if you would like to ask any questions, kindly raise your hand. We have a mic right there in the center. And if you could do us a favor and briefly introduce yourself and your publication before you ask the question, that would be awesome. But since I am here and I am already holding a mic, I'm going to be asking the first couple of questions because, I don't know if you guys were tuned in during the pandemic to the Offshore Music Channel. I did a talk show with them called On the Rocks. And that was really a really great experience, which we are thinking of reviving soon, but shh. Okay. Okay, my first question to the team, anybody can answer this, all three of you. When you look back at Offshore Music's earliest days, now, what was the moment that made you feel that this could grow into something bigger than what you initially imagined? Is there a specific moment in your earliest days?
I guess when we started signing artists, parang yun na yung, wow, this could really work. It's really happening. Musicians are actually joining us and wanting to work with us.
I think also when Sony Music approached Offshore to partner with us, I felt that, oh wow, the majors are recognizing something that we're doing and that we're good at. So that was for me the validation of all the hard work from 2016 because we partnered with them in 2023. So for all those years, it's like, oy, we've been recognized and we're actually making noise in the scene pala. So.
yeah, for me also the joining Sony or Sony having us join them. Yeah, it was the recognition of our effort. Of course, it's like we always work na parang medyo naka-blinders eh. Parang ganun yung feeling. Like we're just in our own corner doing our own thing. And then for them to pick us up at that time, it was a big deal back then. Yeah.
All right. So if that was one of the moments that led you to believing that this could be bigger than you initially planned, was there ever a moment that you wanted to throw in the towel and give up? Like, ayoko na. Oh my God. Did that moment ever come?
Yes.
I guess, ako parang hindi ko inisip at all na Okay, wala na to. Especially during the lockdown, na talagang wala na talaga. Parang I just waited for I kept, kumbaga sa boxing, I just kept fighting and waited for the knockout punch from the opponent. Yung tipong ganun.
Was there a moment for you, Pat?
Yeah, it was also during the pandemic. When that period when you're like, whoa, when is this gonna end? Like, di ba kasi they said muna 1 week, naging 2 weeks, naging 1 month, next you know, it's 1 year na. And then, I was kind of also struggling with like what to do with my life, and everything just seemed kind of pointless lang, honestly. And I just wanted to kind of just call it a day and let everything go, call it a day, and then maybe when the pandemic ends, just find something new to do, ganon. But they encouraged me to stay and to keep fighting, and like Ellie was taking the punches, I guess, for us, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Coincidentally, when they were both feeling like it was almost the end, was when they hired me. And I was like, "Oi, I got a job during the pandemic, yay!" But then when I got there, I didn't realize the job was like, okay, gotta keep the company floating. So I went on a signing spree of artists, and yeah, we survived, I guess.
I think more than survived. I mean, during the pandemic, even in the darkest days, you released a lot of really good music.
We did release a lot of music, I think.
And
Yeah.
considering that you had a very captive audience because there were no live gigs, no concerts happening, so people who were hungry for new music got their taste because you kept on releasing some really good stuff.
Yeah, and we also had online shows that we turned into an album, collaborations of like streaming online, but that was a thing.
That's right.
So, yeah, like what Pat said, we pretty much had blinders on talaga. We're like, okay, we'll just do what we feel is right and fun and good. And then it just naturally happened that we're growing.
Just keep on swinging.
Yes.
Looking
He
for
can
that
keep on,
knockout
yeah,
punch.
the knockout punch.
All right, thank you guys. So, do we have any questions from our media friends? Yes, sir. Go ahead. There's a mic right there for you.
Hello. Hi guys, nice to see you again. And
Hello.
first of all, congrats sa 10th anniversary ninyo. It was a really nice pilot episode. Maganda rin yung napag-usapan doon, no, yung labels and artists. And of course, we know a few weeks ago nag-trend itong usapang ito, no? Yung the discussion between labels and artists. So, I would just like to ask your take dito sa mainit at controversial na topic na ito. I suppose, seeing that you are on both sides of the spectrum, so to speak, artists and record label owners na rin. Thank you.
Oh yeah. I saw that. Yung Rolling Stone, parang round table. And then may mga articles, I believe, online talking about how labels take advantage of the artists, and like certain artists were complaining how their label didn't take care of them or took advantage of them. Something correct to that extent, right? I'm not gonna say the name of the artist. But ako personally, I actually was so tempted to say something online, but I stopped myself because I am an adult. I don't wanna be a keyboard warrior. But thank you for that question. Actually, now is the perfect time to talk about it. For me, there were good, valid points that were raised by the artist. Naturally, not all businesses are perfect. There are certain ways they run things that are questionable. But on a label side, I also understand that they made these decisions because they are a business. And the problem there is, where do we draw the line of business and artistry and taking care of your artists, right? So my comment on that is, again, because we like to stay on our own lane, in offshore, that is basically our daily conversation. Every minute decision we make as a company, always our first question is, how does this benefit the artist? if at some point we know we're gonna make extra money, pero agrabyado yung artist, we're not gonna do it. Because we know how it feels to be on that end. And so, our ethos has always been artists for the artist. And if it was about money, we would have closed a long time ago. But it's not about the money. It's about growing the artist. So I guess that's my opinion on that. Everyone has their point. I guess our point is just we're gonna find the balance every time. So because it's possible, it's possible to find that balance. Yeah.
There has to be a balance between the art and the business.
Yes.
That's why it's show business. You know?
Yeah, yeah.
And without the business side, you won't get the support. Without the art side, there would be no business.
Right.
So yeah, a balance, I think, on a compromise on both sides, as long as the communications are clear and open.
Number
I
one.
think that would be the best balance.
I think that's what I'm proud of with Offshore, is that we're very transparent with our artists. If they do have questions, we will answer. Even to the point na, magkano to? O ito, everything, the breakdown, everything. Because why would we hide it? There's no point, unless we're hiding something. That's the only time you hide something, if there's something wrong that's going on there, right? Not that I'm accusing anybody of wrongdoing. Please don't misquote me. But for us, that's what's fun about Offshore, is that you can freely call us and be like, I need to know. Okay, here's the information. We're not gonna hide anything. So I think you're right, it is communication. If the label or the artist had something to say, they have to say it to each other. They have to have that relationship where they're free to speak out. Diba? So, ayan.
Anything to add to that? You're good. Yeah. All right, covered. Thank you so much. Sorry, time for more questions? Yes. Oh, these guys are shy. I think they need alcohol. Do you have any other questions from our friends in the media? Yes, please. Come on over to the microphone and please introduce yourself and your publication.
Hi, I'm Charmy Pagulong from Philippine Star. So my question is, how do you maintain yung creative freedom ng mga offshore music artists?
We let them do whatever they want. Like, yun talaga yun eh. Like, we don't ever shut down an idea na parang, oh, dito trending, yung ganon. Or, we encourage their ideas. Sometimes it's questionable, I would admit. I'll be like, sure ka dyan. Pero, like, we let them do their thing lang, honestly. We encourage, there are some artists naman then that need encouragement. So, we encourage them to, step out of their comfort zone a little, we give them a lot of pep talks, honestly. To, yeah. We're just encourage them to do what they want, what they feel. And then if there's too many ideas, we help filter it down. Just pick out the, But yeah, like in the previous question, there's a lot of open communication talaga between us and the artist. So, yeah.
I'm just gonna add to that. Of course, those are the ideals that we adhere to. But again, there's no perfect system. Sometimes we really have to, force something on the artist if we think it's good for them and it's good for their release. Because again, we have that responsibility to the company and of course to the artist. So yes, there should be a balance, but for the most part, we let them be because we trust their artistry and that's why we signed them.
I think that's the age-old dilemma of, in the past, a lot of artists were signed by these big corporate machines and then turned into something else. That's not something Offshore does.
No.
So it's art first, and then you figure out a business plan to support that art.
Yeah, actually, a lot of people always ask us, oh, what's your criteria for signing an artist? How do you sign an artist? Well, we do encourage people to send in their demos, naturally. But when it comes to the point of like conversing with the artist and maybe reaching out, you know what, sometimes kahit sobrang galing nila, if the vibe check doesn't work, we don't sign them. Because there's no way we can work together if we don't vibe each other. I know it's ideal, but it really is what happens when we sign. Sometimes sobrang galing, pero may ugali. So parang, it's not gonna work for us. Meron naman na they need improvement, they need encouragement, they need a lot of help, but we vibe. We like the way they think, we like the way where they're going with their music, their dreams, the potential, and then we sign them pa din. I'm not gonna say who, obviously, but everybody is in the roster because we like their music and we like them as people. So that's how it starts.
So there's something about shared values.
Shared values, shared goals. Because our first question nga is, what do you want to happen as an artist and where do you want to go? If they give us answers that we feel we can help with, game, this is gonna work. But we're also honest, like, kunyari, they say, gusto namin maging sikat or artista, whatever. We can't do that. That's something we don't know how to do. So we'll be honest and we'll be like, hey, maybe we can recommend you to join this label because they're specialized in that industry. So we're not gonna pretend, to know. We'll sign you because we vibe and we're excited for their creative, inputs. Yeah.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much for the question.
Thank you.
Do we have any more questions from yes, go ahead, sir.
Curious lang ako, nung ginagawa niyo itong docu na to, sino yung nasa isip niyo? Or sino na lang yung gusto niyong makanood ng docu na to? And anong gusto niyong maramdaman or malaman nila after watching this docu? What's the end goal?
First of all, siguro the layman, when I say that, yung talagang walang alam sa industriya and are just curious about it, and maybe we can educate them on what goes on behind a record label and musicians and artists. Pangalawa, of course, the loyal fans of offshore music. I think it's just a way to celebrate, the anniversary, and also yung mga artists na who are thinking of joining us but are all pinag-iisipan pa nila. I mean, top of my head yun yung nakikita kong audience nito.
Yeah, actually the same. Anybody who's interested in the industry and in the inner workings of a label would learn a lot from it. But really, the reason why we made this documentary is just to celebrate and share with everyone information on why we're celebrating. The usual mindset we have, it's like, party namin, gusto yung makita. Parang ganon lang. So, like if they don't like it, they can press next. But if they do, then welcome to our world, and this is what goes on in our world. There'll be 5 episodes of it, so this is just the parang intro. We'll be talking about other aspects of our journey, so that should be exciting, I think. Yeah, it's not created to have any like 1 million streams, yung ganon. It's created to celebrate talaga. So, yun.
Aside from aspiring musicians, I guess also young people who are like aspiring to be like talent managers or anyone who wants to be behind the scenes aspect of music industry.
I think also part of the viewers, the people who would like to watch this docu-series are also the people who would like to watch a story of not giving up, of perseverance, of endurance, of baka kaya ko rin yan. Kasi kung kinaya
Yes.
nila, kaya ko rin yan.
Yes.
I think that's important also. Because, I mean, like we were saying kanina, you blew your budget right from the get-go, and 10 years later, you're still here. So there's a way.
There is a way.
There
When
is a
there's a
way.
will, there is a way. Pag gusto, may paraan. Yeah.
Awesome. Time for that. Thank you for that question. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Hi guys, I'm Brian Cosentino. I do content. So speaking of artists, I want to ask, do you still go out of your way to personally scout talent yourselves, or meron ba kayong artist na you personally discovered na nasa roster ng Offshore?
Yeah, we go out of our way to scout those artists. Either we see them at gigs or catch them online. And we always make it a point to see them live, if possible, before signing. We never really signed anyone yet, just off a demo.
No.
Yeah, yung parang cold signing na ganyan, wala pa. Yun nga, because we're all musicians, we're always at gigs, and we get to see new talent all the time, like here at Sari or other bars we frequent. In terms of mga recent signings na we love, that we encountered like that organically, I would say Sexy J is a really great example.
Ligaya.
Ligaya Escueta, she's still in college, but yeah, she's
Allison also.
yeah, Allison. Actually, almost everyone, yeah.
Actually, literally all our artists came from like live, watching them live. The very, very first one was One Click Straight. Sila Pat and Ellie palang nun. And they were straight out of college. And then Pat saw them at a show
The Upper House,
Upper-
BGC.
for the older crowd, Upper House and BGC. And then also right after OCS, Anna Mori in college pa lang was discovered by Pat through OCS also. So literally all the artists were like scouted on purpose. And well, towards the end of last year, doon lang kami natutong mag-online scouting because we're not online frequently, diba? I mean, thanks to our very young offshore team, that's the only reason why we discover things online and TikTok and all that. But yeah,
Why the emphasis on seeing them live?
why not? I mean, music is supposed to be consumed live. I mean, that's the best way to consume it. I guess you can call us all old school. And we, as a label, also believe that gigging is still the most effective way to get your music out there and experienced instead of TikTok. I'm sorry, I appreciate TikTok, but priority number one is live. And then TikTok can follow after, right? So, yeah.
Ako din, personally, I try to look at the reactions of the people. If they're reacting positively to the artist, then that's a good sign for me. Kasi like, you can listen to a song, you like the song, but then something flat about like a live performance or alam mo yun. So for me, like, that's a good indicator that there's already an audience. Like, people are like cheering or they're like laughing if the artist is a bit comical or something. That for me is a really important indicator, like, oh, yeah, this is gonna work, like that.
There's no really better way, to size up and check out an artist than seeing them live. It's an age-old tradition, as you know. I mean, Elvis was discovered while they were performing. The Beatles, and you get the whole picture kasi. You get what they sound like and how they are on stage, and after the show you get to see what they are off stage. So there really is no better way. Pa rin.
That is awesome. I have to agree with that. Yes, nothing like live gigs. And any more questions from our friends from the media? Going once. Kasi baka maging episode 2 na to. Ito na yung episode 2 natin, guys. Alright, go ahead, sir.
Hi, congratulations on the anniversary. I'm Josh of Real Cinema PH. I just want to ask, as offshore music enters its next decade, what do you think is the label's role in shaping the future of Filipino music?
Oh, that's a good question. That's a good
Brain
question.
cells in the afternoon. Come on. Like the first decade, we're gonna wing it. But I say this because nothing is guaranteed. We don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow. I'm not gonna say it, but there could be another lockdown. There could be, like, there's a war. There's an energy crisis. Anything can happen. So, in natural offshore fashion, we're just gonna adapt to anything that comes our way. So, the 10 years from now would be adapting to what technology comes our way and what the people look for in an artist. So it's hard to say, but definitely at the core of it, it would still be supporting artists who want to get their music out there and doing it authentically and genuinely, I think.
Yeah, of course, I want offshore to grow and become big and a real player in the industry. Not to, not to be in competition, of course, with the major labels. I don't think we'll ever be major, and even if we could, I don't think we should, because I've seen a lot of successful entities, be it musicians or companies, that became really huge and at the expense of their integrity. It's like a law, that it happens talaga pag when you're that successful, you tend to prioritize other stuff like staying successful, and I don't want offshore to be like that in any way. I think we're fine as we are, just as long as we're not, in the red and having debts and so on and so forth, and just keeping on helping artists.
Anything to add for that, Pat?
Yeah, I guess the answer will always be yes to everything.
Yes.
So the next 10 years, we'll find a way to get there. We've proven that, with nothing, we were able to build something. So now that our foundation is much stronger, I feel positive about the next coming years.
I think it's also going to be very interesting because in the next 10 years, that's going to be a whole new couple of generations of artists that are going to be emerging. So who knows what demos you're going to be getting?
Probably gonna be fighting off AI is
That's
probably
true.
our next 10 years, right?
That's
Keeping
true.
it authentic.
That's true. All right, time for one last question. Would anyone want to take that one last question? Anyone? Anyone? Bueller? Bueller? Yes, go ahead, please.
Chloe from Music Manila. Question is, how has running offshore influenced your own music making and perspective as an artist?
Oof. That's a really good question. We're inspired every day by how talented these young musicians are. I personally get to work with them sa studio as an engineer, and it makes me want to practice the guitar every day because these guys are just so good at their craft. But to be honest, being working in a record label, sometimes there's almost no time to focus on my own personal music. So I kind of live vicariously through the artists. I mean, we gig once in a while. The three of us are bandmates. We also run other businesses such as this. So just watching them do their thing is already inspiring. And when we do get to make music, we think of, wow, these kids are just good, we gotta step up our game. So that's how I see it.
Oh, I definitely got inspired by watching our artists, our signed artists. It really is a sight to see. The craftsmanship talaga is beyond what I'm personally used to. You know, back in the day, bara-bara kami noon eh. And the level of commitment and professionalism is very inspiring. That's why I was able to complete a new album because of what I've seen with these artists.
For me, parang nag-widen yung perspective ko that it really takes a whole team for anything to work, for one song to be released, for one gig or performance to happen. Parang nakikita ko na ngayon. Kasi before, I would just be focused on performing or parang studying the songs for my performance, ganyan. But now, let's say if I attend a concert or an event, I notice everything now. It's like, oh, the lights, oh, the ganyan, oh, the ano, oh, look, there's a guy running in the back, like that. Nahulog yung ganito, ganon. So I think even in like song production or when I listen to a song, parang because of what I experience with the studio, you know, all of those things, parang yun, it's broadened my perspective and the way I hear music or appreciate the music of the artist.
All right, thank you. Thank you. That wraps up our question and answer portion. Thank you so much for coming, guys. Thank you so much, Audrey, Ellie, Pat, and of course, thank you to our friends from the media. Before we officially wrap up, let's take this time for a photo op with the three of you. Maybe we can shift to the stage for better lighting.
I guess before we end,
Oh.
I just want to say thank you again to the media for coming. We really appreciate you guys being here on a Thursday afternoon.
Thank you.
This doesn't happen often, so it's nice to be able to talk about it with you guys. And I guess while I'm at it, part of the celebration, aside from just the docu-series, we would be releasing a lot of things this year. And I guess maybe we can give you an exclusive information. Embargo na siguro to. But we intend to release the secondary pressing of Ultra Electro this year, the album. So abangan nyo na lang yung announcement. We'll be sending out the information on that. But that's happening this year. And also releasing Fruitcake this year. So that's just two of the major things that we're doing to celebrate this year. So there's like a bunch of activities, so just stay tuned. And yeah, I think in one word, pasabog, yun yung term, diba? Maraming pasabog. So ayun lang, just sharing it with everybody.
Maraming salamat ulit sa inyo. Of course, music, Filipino music would not survive without all your support. So thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, before we break for the photo op on that stage, we'd just like to remind everybody the official trailer for the Offshore Music PH docu-series will be out on May 24 across Offshore Music PH.
What's that like?
It's a learning opportunity every day. We learn a lot. Like I said, from our team, they're the ones who are chronically online. So we get the information from them. But in terms of adjustment, I think it's proven na since 2016 to now, we're really good at adjusting whatever comes our way. Ano yung term na yun? Madiskarte. Diskarte kami pagdating doon. So, yun lang. Like, I guess every day we learn something from online signing.
There are a lot of ways, like I said, na pwede kayong makadiscover ng new talent. And social media is one of them. But again, parang old school kami. They still feel na to really get to know someone, wag mo munang tingnan yung followers or whatever. That's just us. That's just the way we roll.
Tsaka ano kasi, parang if we rely on that, sometimes it's not accurate din eh. People just follow because they're not following a person because they like their music. Maybe they just wanna make chismes or you know whatever. It could be anything. Like what Pat said, that the true gauge really is the response of actual live audience. And like siguro kami, like the way we approach the business is that we'll do something we know how to do. We're not very tech savvy people or online. So we'll do what we do best, which is live music and discovering the artist the old school way.
Ito. Dito please.
Back.
Dito. 1, 2,